Welcome to the GAMERamble video review for The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2, narrated by me, Darkcloud. As always, the full text version of this review can be found on the GAMERamble website linked below. The TLDR is that The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2 see Nora Handa's return along with a bevy of girls who ensure that there's never a dull moment in his life. Like the first game, it combines romance, comedy, and even a few serious slice-of-life moments. Unfortunately, it is also censored like the first game, so all traces of adult content have been removed. Despite this, The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2 is an entertaining visual novel with enough content to keep you busy for a long time. Gameplay receives an 8 out of 10. The game features a new cast of romanceable characters as well as the return of some old ones. Graphics receives a 9 out of 10. The artwork looks great and the game features plenty of CGs. Sound receives a 9 out of 10. The audio impresses with full Japanese voice acting and a mammoth soundtrack. The overall score for The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2 is 8.7 out of 10. And now for the full review. Nora Handa, the young man who found himself half feline after an encounter with a princess from the netherworld, is back in The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2. Life has been pretty eventful for Nora after his adventures in the first game, but as this game opens we discover he's still stuck with his cat curse. Whenever a girl kisses Nora, he changes between human and feline form, which is a bit inconvenient to say the least. The sequel takes place after the first game's events, but shines the spotlight on a brand new character, and a few girls who played background roles in the prequel. However, all the characters from the original game are back as well, even though most of them take a backseat to make way for the new heroines. For players unfamiliar with The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart, it's a real novel in a coastal town where the protagonist Nora Handa is a student. Nora was turned into a familiar after encountering a princess of the netherworld, and ended up with the princess as well as her two sisters pretty much taking over his house. The sequel takes place in the summertime and introduces a brand new character, Iris December Uncry. Iris is a princess of the cold and forgotten kingdom of Uncry. It is a place of eternal winter that nobody remembers due to a curse, and Iris is on a mission to change things around. Accompanying her is Noelle the next season, her loyal servant who only communicates through pre-recorded words from a tape recorder. It doesn't take long for Nora to become involved with these two, and the sparks begin to fly. To make matters more complicated, Iris bears a grudge against the Netherworld sisters, as their family played a role in the curse of Uncry. The story of Iris is just one of the paths in The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2. Players can also pick to become romantically involved with Nobushina, the fierce daughter of a Yakuza family, Lucia, the eldest of the Netherworld sisters, and Eurasia, the youngest of the Netherworld sisters. However, these paths are based on a decision made early in the game, and afterward there are no more choices that can be made to influence the story in any way. Just like the original game, the stories in The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart 2 are goofy, charming, heartwarming, and laugh out loud funny at times. Nora has never been the brightest protagonist, and in this game it feels like his feline side is taking over even more, frequently getting him in trouble with the girls. Unfortunately, as much as we enjoyed the different stories, this game has also been censored like the first. This means no nudity or sex scenes, which have all been ripped out. It also means that, just like the first game, it can make the story feel a bit confusing at times, as you're never sure if Nora and one of the heroines ended up sleeping together or not. Completing the main stories open up a few extra stories for the heroines from the first game. These are obviously much shorter than the primary stories, but it is nice to spend time with Patricia, Michi, Shachi and Yuki again. Even Iris and Noelle have additional stories that are unlocked. Along with these, the game features a ton of musings, which are short humorous scenes featuring all kinds of wacky scenarios. In total, it took us close to 30 hours to complete all the different stories in the game and unlock all the achievements, which is similar to our playtime with the original game. Visually, The Princess, the Stray Cat and Mattress of the Heart look as good as the first game, which is no surprise as it reuses many of the character sprites and backgrounds. There are plenty of new CGs though, as well as some new locations. We're quite impressed by the number of sprites the game features, even for characters or creatures that only pop up once or twice. One of the routes even features an amusing driving section presented in full 3D. It's optional though, so you can just sit back and watch it unfold while listening to the music and the characters talking. A lot of effort has gone into the audio, with a ton of music tracks and full Japanese voice acting for all the characters. The sound effects are all really good, along with a few that are intentionally bad for the sake of humor. The interface for the game is the same as the first, but considering how good it is, there's not much that could really be changed. You can still adjust the individual voice levels, pick the font and language for the subtitles, change the cursor and much more. All the CGs, music tracks, musings and extra stories also neatly kept in your own menus for you to peruse. The censorship will obviously be a big issue for many players, but overall we really enjoyed the game. It would have been better if players had been given the option to restore the cut content, or at least censor it in a way that doesn't make the story feel as disjointed though. For the rest, the game still features plenty of fan service with swimsuits and skimpy outfits. The Princess, the Stray Cat and Matches of the Heart 2 is one of those games where the overall stories are not that impressive, but the individual scenes and jokes keeps things interesting throughout. It can sometimes feel a little random, but that's part of the appeal. If you're a fan of the genre and can live with all the adult content removed from the game, then you'll have fun with The Princess, the Stray Cat and Matches of the Heart 2. Even if you're unsure, a demo is available on Steam to try out. Thanks for joining me for this The Princess, the Stray Cat and Matches of the Heart 2 PC review. Remember to like, subscribe and share. Until next time.